see, again, that's a very unfortunate statement. Because hii pesa wanakata kwa ni yao, si ni ya Wakenya. Hii pesa unasema utakata ni ya mama yako. This money belongs to us. The judiciary is part of us. But the good thing is that the Kikuyus who woke up mapema are the one who are hard hit. Yes, and they're learning from their own lessons, my brothers and sisters. You choose a bad government. This government you choose is a bad one. It's a government that does not respond to the plight of the people.
Come 2027, they won't wake up 6 a.m. in the morning.
Come 2027, tutaamuka mapema. Vile vile tutaamuka mapema. Kwenda kupeleka hii serikali nyumbani. It is a one-term regime. In fact, watu wanasema one-term akwende. And we are not afraid of saying this because it's our democratic right.
And you're just in time for Richard Mwenje exclusive here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. It's always an honor to have you on board, and today it has been a long time coming. We have your favorite analyst for the day, that is the vibrant and seasoned advocate of the High Court of Kenya and senior partner at Ndegwa and Ndegwa Company Advocates. I'm talking about none other than the voice in the wilderness, the latter day John the Baptist, Ndegwa Njiru, the Black Bull himself.
Yeah, how are you, Richard?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, bro.
Kabisa.
Na crew bado iko sawa?
Iko sawa.
Na prof?
Ako vyema kabisa.
You pass my regards.
I mean, people are wondering, where have you been all this while? A month into January and you're not in the channel.
You know, sometimes it's always good to get some sabbatical leave. And that's what you are enjoying, and also trying to plan for the year.
Are you sure your silence had not been paid for by some quarters? You are
that would be a very wild imagination.
A very wild?
Wild imagination. That can never happen. Because whatever I believe in, I don't believe in because I need consideration from anyone. It's a conviction that flows from the heart and from my principles. And therefore, it's not easy for you to compromise what I believe in. And therefore, there could be that suspicion, oh, this guy has amenyamazishwa. Ni nyamazishwa na nani sasa?
Are you still going to see the Black Bull this year?
The Constitution guarantees me the freedom of expression. And that is the bare minimum that the Constitution grants me. And of course, it's a right that is granted me by the Constitution, and not any other person. So we are not, although we are back in the time of Moi, through this regime, they will not censor us. If they censor us, there will still be a voice in the wilderness that will speak and that will say, prepare the way. Yes.
Prepare the way.
Yeah, prepare the way.
Which begs the question.
And of course, the way that we are saying that is that this regime must be changed.
How soon, maybe? Should it be changed?
You know, by all means necessary, through constitutional mechanisms as laid down by the Constitution. And of course, I do not see this regime surviving beyond 2027, because it's during 2027 that we shall do our elections. So, certainly, as decreed by the Constitution, on the second Tuesday of August, 2027, this regime will be done and dusted. It is a one-term regime. In fact, what wanasema, one-term akwende. And we are not afraid of saying this because it's our democratic right. Nobody can censor me from having such kind of a view. Because Kenyans are much more tired than they were. They are overburdened. The regime has become dictatorial. The regime is a regime that is not responding to the plight of the people. You can see the person who goes by the name of the president, if he's not airborne going to Italy, He's on top of his car in somewhere in was in Gishu
on development tours,
or he's also somewhere on the top of his cars in Meru, having a contestation with the voters who once loved him, threatening voters. Oh, mkutano ya rais huwezi piga kelele.
We shall get to there and go in a while.
Yes.
But you are signaling that we are at a time as a country whereby we cannot underrate public intelligence.
It would be a mistake for you to attempt to do so. And I remember Mr. William Ruto kept on saying that Kenya kuna wajinga. And I think this is a time that is now dawning on him what he said. Kenya, by that time he was saying, oh, nobody can be victimized, nobody can be blackmailed not to vote William Ruto. But now we are not even being blackmailed. It is flowing from our hearts. The hearts of Kenyans.
It is happening.
It's happening. And I told him the other day, they could have succeeded in cracking down the mandamanos. They succeeded in butchering our people. They succeeded in meting out police brutality.
That committee report.
But what he never understood is that the biggest mandamanos are happening in our hearts and in our mind. Every time Wakenya wanaandamana kwa mind zao na heart zao, wakijiuliza, is this what we really voted for? Was this a good bet? Yeah.
Well, very well. There you have it.
And of course the answer, Richard, the answer is that Kenyans are fatigued. I was just speaking to some clients who came to see me, and they come from Murang'a. And the most unique thing about these clients is that they come from Mukure wa Nyagadanga. And you know there is a very big spiritual connection,
cultural heritage,
connection with the Kikuyus and Mukore of Nyagadanga.
Sure.
As late as last Saturday, when they went there for spiritual matters, police were sent by none other than Mr. Gachagua to come and arrest them, allegedly that they have now all of a sudden become members of the Mungiki. You understand?
I get it.
On 31st of December, again they were arrested while they were doing their ceremonies there at Mukore of Nyagadanga. And they were charged for being members of the conscripted group of Mungiki. So what we have now understood is that Kikuyus have outlived their usefulness. They are no longer hustlers, they are Mungikis. And we are telling him, and we are facing him on his face, and we are telling him, yes, we have accepted that description. Come 2027, you will look for the hustlers and you'll never find them.
Well, at that point,
because Mungiki is an illegal and an outlawed association, and therefore an outlawed association cannot go to vote.
Very well.
Yes, they cannot have legitimacy of casting their votes.
Very well. Well, at that point, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Richard Mwenja.
Yeah.
And this is Richard Mwenja Exclusive. Now straight to the conversation of the day.
Yes. But what I never told you, what I've not mentioned about what my clients have told me, wameniambia kama siku zingekuwa zinasukuma ama zinavotwa hivi tukaribia 2027 ndio William na Gachagua wake wangejua. That is from the group of Kikuyus who voted for them,
who woke up early in the morning.
And we are saying that Kikuyus should not tire, or nobody should tire, and nobody should threaten you to express yourself in whichever manner. If you want to wail, if you want to shout. It's your constitutional right to express yourself. Fortunately, the Constitution does not define how this freedom of self-expression must be initiated and actuated. It is for the individuals to determine how to actuate it.
It's frameless.
So if you feel that you don't want to listen to anyone, make noise, scream and speak to the power that be, that things are not okay. How do you expect somebody who has slept hungry, somebody who has not taken his children to school, somebody who cannot access medical services, to just come and listen and bask on the sun, listening to you, just to tell them what you told them in 2022? Scream, abandon those meetings. There is nothing he can do to you. Na tunataka kumwambia, we are aware that Mr. William Ruto, the prisons are full. You need to build more for us. We are ready to go there.
Kenyans are ready to go there?
We are ready to, actually we shall walk ourselves to those prisons. We don't even need to be arrested. Ajenge jela, hizo nyumba anajenga za affordable housing, some of them should be converted into prison because many of us will walk there.
You're asking Kenyans to call out the mess from our leaders.
Call out the mess.
How about the extrajudicial killings we are seeing by the day? Don't you think it will incite some sense of
those are the
cowardice?
things that we must call out. Nobody has a right of taking out someone's life just because you differ in opinion or in principle or you have a divergence political opinion. Nobody gave you that life. Even them, when they opposed President Kenyatta, who killed them? Waliuawa na nani? Were they not all over the world screaming to anybody who bothers to hear? Who killed them? Why should you kill a person just because you have no consensus?
Dissenting opinion.
Yeah, that is cowardice. Let the people speak.
Well, Ndegwa, let the people speak. Let's head over straight to still matters to do with the reception the president is getting.
Yes.
And let's begin from his recent tour in Meru.
Yes.
And not just Meru, because we've seen a trend whereby oftentimes he's running into hostile crowds. But the justification from Kenya Kwanza, why I say supporters of the government, is that those were paid hecklers. those were not organic hecklers.
Yes.
And even if they were organic hecklers, it wasn't directed to the president, maybe to the local leadership.
Yes.
From where you sit, as a person from Mount Kenya and as a concerned citizen,
yes.
Do you really believe Kenyans are that tired to the point that they can heckle the president in front of even other leaders?
Kenyans are not just tired to the extent of heckling. They are tired to the extent of wanting to have a match to State House.
It was an organic crowd?
These crowds are organic. Let me ask you, who has much more muscle to pay? An individual or government? And then when you said it was an expression of local politics, they should have shouted at him, they should have shouted when the governor was speaking, not when William was speaking. The noise was directly directed at him to express the dissatisfaction that people have.
Slightly 15 months into office?
Yes. And people are tired.
So what can we say is the foreseen future even before 2027 for this particular government?
The foreseen future is that the only leave that William is enjoying is that we have had enough rainfall. Na kwa hivyo watu hawana njaa. Kama kungekuwa na ile kiangazi ilikuwepo wakati wa President Kenyatta, people would have walked to State House.
People would have walked to State House.
It comes a time when decisions must be taken.
At whatever cost? At
whatever cost. You see, if you look at the kind of the bombardment that is happening in Israel and the Hamas, it reached that time that the Hamas had to speak to the Israelis and tell them, we are here. Leave our land.
It is time you pack and
leave. It's time you pack and go. But the surprising thing is, because William has become a puppet of the West and is being manipulated by the West, left, right, and center. When the whole of Africa was joining hands with South Africa in the International Court of Justice against Israel, William was here supporting the Israelis. And he's so inhuman that he's not able to see the women and the children and the persons with disabilities and the men who are being butchered by the Israelis. He has not seen anything wrong for him to condemn. He has been mute of malice to the extent that he cannot speak.
Very well then.
When the entire Africa is speaking against it. Yes.
Moving on swiftly, Ndegwa, one of the agendas by the government of the day that has been taken with skepticism from the citizens is one that has to do with affordable housing. And particularly on that mandate to give Kenyans better houses at a very affordable rate. The president, the housing levy, the housing tax actually was declared unconstitutional by the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
But the president has said he's going to defy that and make sure that agenda comes to pass in the fullness of time. And he had this to say, I have the authority from the people of Kenya to continue the affordable housing program. The people's authority is the authority of God. That we gave him the mandate to spearhead that particular agenda. Do you support him in that particular quest whereby he's saying as much as the coast have ruled otherwise, I'm still going to pursue this coast to the latter? Do you support it?
So nobody has told William that he should not continue to build his house, how his house is. Number two, Article 43 does not just speak about affordable housing. No, it doesn't speak about just, it's a very, very vibrant article. How he only chose affordable housing is mysterious, and it speaks to the scam that the affordable housing is.
It could be a long con, this one?
It's a con. It's a con because he has been taxing Kenyans unlawfully and unconstitutionally, and he has not gone to open any affordable housing that he has completed. All those that he is now commissioning were done by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta without taxing and overburdening Kenyans. So William has a serious scheme of milking this country dry through the so-called affordable housing. And we shall speak to him in a voice that he bothers to hear, that the constitution of this country has created 3 levels of government. There is one there are 2 arms that are directly elected by people, and there is one that naturally drives its validity and its power from the people. So the judiciary, under Article 159 and 160, provides that judicial power is derived from the people and shall be exercised for and on behalf of the people of Kenya. So he's not the only one who is enjoying sovereignty. Even our courts are enjoying sovereignty. And we must tell him that our courts are here to stay. He is either shapes in or shapes out. Because William will leave the courts here. Kenyatta 1 was here, aliwacha makoti hapa. Moi came, left courts here. Kibaki came, akawacha makoti. His Excellency His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta came, found the courts, revamped them, reformed them, just like the way President President Kibaki was doing, and he left them. So when you look at the permanency of the 3 arms of government, the courts are more permanent than the executive.
He cannot invent the wheel.
Yes. The courts are the judiciary is more permanent than the executive, because the executive keeps on renewing itself after every 5 years, And we are telling him he has only 2 years, I think 2 years now to go. On 8th of August.
Very well.
We are taking him home. And he's going to leave the High Court of Kenya there. He's going to leave the Court of Appeal. And he's going to leave the Supreme Court. So, asitulete.
Actually, one person who is a state officer was taken concern with the court's voice on the affordable housing agenda is none other than Ole Itumbi.
Yes.
And he had this to say, and I want to get your opinion.
Did you describe him as a state officer? He's not.
He's not a state officer?
He's a masquerader.
Not even a mouthpiece of the president?
Where is he? How does he become a state officer? Because the definition of a state officer under Article 160 of the Article 260 of the Constitution is very clear, that a state officer is one who drives his salary from the consolidated fund.
So he's just someone who masquerades?
He's a masquerader.
All right, you're talking about that masquerader who many assume is a mouthpiece of the president.
And there are so many masqueraders in government.
Very many.
Because you can see, we have a lot of ghost workers in this country. And these ghost workers have come as a result of William Ruto'S condoning them and stomaching them.
Very well then. But this is someone who's been considered a mouthpiece of the president.
Itumbi is one of those ghost workers.
So this one whom you declare as a ghost worker had this to say about the affordable housing and how the courts ruled on the matter. That let me, with due respect, ask CJ Mother Kaome, where was public participation done granting judges 20 million mortgage at 3% payable for 25 years?
That's nonsensical.
It was unconstitutional to award judges homes of such high value from hustlers' taxes. It must be constitutional to create jobs and provide homes for hustlers at much lower prices based on little contribution from each of us. Wacheni double standards. The judges want to live in posh estates while hustlers are living in Korogosho or Mkuru kwa Jeng.
You know,
do you consider our judiciary to be a master of double standards?
How is it a master of double standard?
Based on
the judiciary has not said that you should not build your houses. The judiciary has just said don't unlawfully and illegally and unconstitutionally tax Kenyans. So if he sells his chicken somewhere, he can go and build his houses. If he sells whatever he sells, let him go and build his houses. But he will not involve Kenyans in a scam. So Itumbi is unfortunate that he's speaking in the manner in which he's speaking. noting that he has been rescued by this court several times. William Ruto is a product of the courts. So he's basically cutting the herd that feeds him. And therefore, I would simply categorize Itumbe's statement as nonsensical. A statement that is meant to blackmail our courts. It is the right of the judges to give the mortgage. Isn't Ishongwa also getting the same mortgage?
Personal emoluments and PACs.
Yes, in parliament. Wasn't the leader of majority Ishongwa given mortgage for car mortgage and housing mortgage? Is it why only the court? Why only the judiciary? If Itumbe was sincere, he would also have questioned why members of parliament are given that mortgage. And the first thing should have been that the so-called the hustler MPs should perhaps do some austerity measures and contribute towards the so desired affordable housing. In any case, kwani kuna Mkenya hana kwao? Kuna Mkenya hii Kenya ambayo hana mahali pake? Who told William that we sleep outside? We are in a capitalistic system. We are rightists. And in a capitalistic system, is man for his own and God for us all.
God for us all.
Yes.
What then do you make of the day-to-day demolitions of houses to pave way for the affordable agenda? Look, case in point, the demolition of former CS Amina Mohamed's house and all that.
It's laughable that on one hand you are destroying houses and bringing them down. On the other one, you're also saying that you're building the affordable housing.
And getting back grabbed public land.
Let me tell you, they're not getting back public land. They are grabbing it. This housing scheme is a scheme to grab public land.
Not paving way for a better course?
No. Look at the way it is being done in a clandestine manner. A private investor comes, you are given land by government. The procedure for the acquisition and alienation of that land is not even followed. Mr. William Ruto's words have become law. You don't follow the process of the alienation of that land through the National Land Commission, through the approval of Parliament. All this is unlawful. It is illegal. But the good thing is that the Kikuyus who woke up mapema are the one who are hard hit. Yes, and they are learning from their own lessons, my brothers and sisters. You choose a bad government. This government you choose is a bad one. It's a government that does not respond to the plight of the people.
Come 2027, they won't wake up 6 a.m. in the morning.
Come 2027, tutaamuka mapema. Vile tutaamuka mapema. Kwenda kupeleka hii serikali nyumbani.
Really?
If I was speaking to Kikuyus, I would have told them, tugokira tene. Tugokira tene.
Is that an individual voice or a mouthpiece of
No. I speak to so many people. And there are so many people who are resonating with whatever you are saying. When I walk on the streets, either in Nairobi or Kirinyaga or wherever, people are telling me, Ndegwa, you are the voice of the people. We are behind you.
The charm in Mount Kenya has faded that fast?
It was just an offensive charm.
Offensive charm?
It was just an offensive charm. It was not a charm that was premised on any tangible reason. Hizi zilikuwa ni hekaya za Abunuwasi.
Built on sand.
Hekaya za Abunuwasi.
It's not here, it's not there.
It's neither here nor there.
Very well then.
So unajua mpaka katika hekaya za Abunuwasi sufuria iliwahi kuzaa. Hizi ni zile hekaya za Abunuwasi, sufuria ati kubwa inazaa kasufuria kingine kandogo.
In the interest of time, as we bring the show to wrap up, I want to get your thought on members of parliament who played to the tune of the president on following the court's ruling on the affordable housing agenda, and particularly to narrow down to Mogotio member of parliament Ruben, who said, in a way to respond to the courts, we're going to slash the budget that is normally channeled towards the judiciary because they haven't really supported this the president's agenda to the full realization of it. What do you make of such a legislators who are going to say we're going to deal with the judiciary, especially the easiest way is slash their budget?
You see, again, that's a very unfortunate statement. Because hii pesa wanakata kwani ni yao, si ni ya Wakenya. Hii pesa unasema utakata ni ya mama yako. This money belongs to us. The judiciary is part of us. Right?
Sure.
So these are leaders who want to endear themselves to Mr. William Ruto. They are bootlickers. They are just wagging the tail for William Ruto.
Extreme sycophants, you say?
Extreme sycophancy and foolishness. I have no regard for such kind of member of parliament because even his constituents are consumers of this justice. Even he himself is a consumer of this justice. So when you say that you are going to cut the judiciary's budget so that you can punish them, you are punishing your mother, who is a consumer of this justice. You're punishing your brother, who is a consumer of this justice. You're punishing your wife, who is a consumer of this justice. You're punishing your son, who will be arrested with the bangi and taken to the same courts, and there will be nobody to hear him.
Are we likely to see a Damascus moment from such legislators who say...
No, they cannot. They are bootlickers. They have no mind of their own. They are puppets. They are robots.
They're being spinned around by a force?
Of course. We don't even have parliament. But thank God, they're going to get back our parliament. You see, on Friday, what happened?
Sure.
The Kenya Kwanza made an attempt to scatter our case that is pending before the High Court. You know, we have gone to challenge the decision by Wetangula to say that Kenya Kwanza was the majority. So they wanted to scatter it. The court said this case is about the place of multi-party democracy in this country. And it is stood on its ground. So through courts, we shall rightfully use courts and initiate cases to reclaim our lost and our threatened constitutional glory.
Very well.
And we are not going to be silenced.
Very well. There you have it. That point by Ndegwa Njiru takes us to the wrap of this convention, talking a plethora of issues in the world of politics and governance here in Kenya, from the affordable housing to the attack on the judiciary, and also what the citizens on the ground are saying, the true reality on the ground. He has actually conversed on that entire subject. He is Ndegwa Njiru, senior partner here at Ndegwa Company Advocates, and also one who is better known as the voice in the wilderness. Do tune in to other programs. It's going to feature there prominently, so we wait to see you on the next edition. Until next time, I'm Richard Mwanjam. Always a pleasure to have you on board.